Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
Look at you now.
Today I'm here to talk about the newest music biopic, one of the more anticipated films for me in 2019, and definitely one that a lot of people are talking about, and that of course is the movie Rocketman, which is the biopic of the great singer and pianist Sir Elton John, and this movie stars a fantastic cast including Taron Egerton, Jamie Bell, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Game of Thrones' Richard Madden. So, this, of course, is the story of Elton John. You know who he is. He's one of the most well-known names in all of music, has also given us some of the greatest songs, and is also a truly great tribute to certain important causes in this world. But we never really knew much of the real story of Elton John, and for me personally, I do enjoy his music. I'm not his biggest fan, but I was very curious to see exactly what we were going to get from a movie about his life. And I am also a big fan of a lot of the music biopics that we've been getting in recent years. I think that Love and Mercy is fantastic, and of course Bohemian Rhapsody is a movie that many have said great things about, but there's also a lot of people that have not said good things about it, and there are many that say that Rocketman is better. There are others that say that Bohemian Rhapsody is better. Me personally, I don't want to associate the two of them together and compare because they are two very different stories, as well as two very different kinds of storytelling styles, because if there is one thing that I can say about Rocketman, the way that Elton John's story is told is something completely different, something that we've never seen in the world of a typical biopic, because this is a musical biopic. In certain parts of this story, you see Elton John growing up, breaking out into fame and fortune, also seeing a whole life of drugs, depression, anxiety, and loneliness, but it's also done where it's taking a break from the actual story, and then he and a whole bunch of people around him just burst into song and dance. And through all that, you get some of Elton John's greatest songs. So you are tapping your feet, you're moving along with the music, and you're really having an overall good time with this movie. But one of the few things that I will personally say is that song and dance has a lot more meaning than I thought that it would. Because Elton John is someone that really went through a great deal because of the fact that he was also doing very important things within himself, like discovering his sexuality, not really having a great rapport with his parents. It really took a toll on him, especially in the early portion of his career, where he was really one of the most popular singers in all of rock and roll at the time. But when you hear the songs and you see them interwoven with his story, you get so much more of a sense of meaning, especially the way that the movie begins. The story is being told by Elton John at a rehab session, and he's in one of his mind-blowing costumes. And the more the story is told, the more the layers get peeled back, and you see less of the stage act and more of Elton John the man. You also hear through the songs the struggles that he's dealing with, and that even though he is dealing with these happy and catchy tunes are there to block all the negativity, but at the same time, it really isn't helping, even though you might think that it's helping. And just seeing everything that he went through, even though so many great things happened for him in terms of stardom, it was without a doubt one of the most hard-hitting stories for a rock star that I have ever actually seen. And don't get me wrong, there are so many different stories from so many different personas of music, and there's still so many more that need to be told. But this one was done with such incredible style and ingenuity and originality. The acting, of course, in this film is stellar. Everybody does a great job. I love Jamie Bell as the songwriter for Elton. Bernie. I also thought that Richard Madden played a great role as John Reed, but of course, The man, the myth, the legend himself is played brilliantly by Taron Egerton, and I love Taron Egerton, especially because two of my favorite films are Kingsman and Kingsman: The Golden Circle, so when I found out that he was going to play Elton John, I had a feeling that I was going to be in for something truly special, and there were parts of this movie where I was watching him and I really thought that it was Elton John actually playing himself. Everything was just incredible through this man's talent, and there are so many that are saying that he should get nominated for an Oscar for this role, and I really hope that that's the case, because this is the true role that is going to give this young actor a true path to the stardom that many of his fans feel should have been given to him quite some time ago. Also, if you are a fan of Elton John, you're just gonna love the movie as a whole as well as the music. If there's anything that I could say that's negative about this film, it's probably the fact that it's not necessarily for everybody. Not everybody is an Elton John fan, not everybody really cares for a music biopic, so it may not be something that everybody is going to enjoy. I really feel that there's going to be a lot of generated Oscar buzz around it. I really hope that nobody forgets this film, because the overall production value, besides the costumes, everything about this movie is absolutely incredible, and some of the best filmmaking that I have seen this year. And also, people who have seen movies like Across the Universe, this is a movie that really takes on that style, but does it correctly, because not only do we get the great music, we get a fantastic story told beautifully through everybody that's involved. So I definitely will say see Rocketman. It is a real treat, and I think you will definitely appreciate Elton John a little bit more. And even though we stopped at a certain point in Elton John's career, and we all know that there's so much more of his story that we didn't get in this film, I think what we got is exactly what we needed to see. This is definitely a movie that I want to see again, and it is a movie that I want to add to my DVD collection for sure. It's gonna go right there with all my favorite music biopics. I definitely thought that this was a great film. So I am going to give Rocketman a 3.5 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Rocketman, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.